Aggregate functions are the functions that work upon groups of rows, that is with respect to the values in a particular column. So it is used to compute the values of a particular column. It works in groups instead of individual rows. So the aggregate functions are average, count, sum, max, min. You don't name it average, it's AVG. AVG, count, sum, max, min. So as the name suggests, it will find the average of a given column. Sum will given the total value of the given column. Max will return the maximum value. Min will return the minimum value. And count will give the number of rows that are retrieved. Okay, so let us see how these functions work. So I have a table called salary. Select star from employee. Otherwise, there is an employee table where I have employee ID, name, designation, basic pay, gender and department. So to apply the first method, let me say select average of basic pay, basic from employee. So instead of returning one particular basic pay, it will return the average basic pay of the entire column, right? See, I'll show you again what is select star from employee. Basic pay contains 46,000, 56,000, 91, 66, 76, 41. So when you say AVG of salary from employee or not salary, it's basic pay. AVG of basic will return the average value of the basic pay. Suppose you don't want the entire average, you want the average of employees who belong to HR department or quality department. You can also add conditions where department equal to quality. The basic pay is 61,000. So previously we calculated the basic pay of all the employees. Now I have restricted to the basic pay of quality department alone. So next we'll move on to sum. Sum of basic pay. Sum of basic pay of people in quality department. It is 1,22,000. So let us say HR, or we'll say quality, and we have gender also, and gender equal to male. Now we will get the total salary that is given for all the male employees in quality department. Okay, so you can find the sum based on a group of records retrieved by this condition. Okay, so the system retrieves the details of the people in quality department who are male, and it will add the basic pay of all those employees, right? Now instead of finding out the sum, I want to find out how many employees, how many male employees are in quality department. In that case, you should give count. Count of star, that is how many records are retrieved. Count of star from employee where department equal to quality and gender equal to male. There is only one employee. Okay, then we'll find how many female employees are there. One again. Okay. HR. 2 employees. Department HR, gender female, there are 2 employees. So count of star will return how many rows contain these values. It will count the number of rows. Okay. So first let me fetch the total number of records. See, select count of star from employee will give how many rows are there in the employee table. So there are 13 records. Select count of star from employee without any condition will return the number of records in the table. Okay. Where basic is greater than 50,000. Now what will it return? It will return the number of employees whose basic pay is more than 50,000. So 5 employees. So this is the purpose of count. Now there is one thing, when you use the count method, when you use the count function, you can use a field name. Say count of department. Select count of department See, from employee. First, let me say count of star from employee. This returns 13. We'll see count of department from employee. It gives only 12. Now, I will tell you what makes the difference. When you say count of star, it will count the number of rows from the employee table. When you say count of department field, it will exclude null values. So when you give count of a particular field name, if the department contains a null value, it will skip that and count only the remaining things. Okay, I'll show you the detail now. Select star from employee. Look at this department. There is one null value for one person. So that is excluded while counting the data. So this is a common question in the board exam. What is the difference between count of star and count of field name? Count of star will count the number of rows retrieved, but count of field will return the number of the field records without null value. Okay. Next, we'll find maximum. Max of basic. So I'll simply give select max of basic from employee. This will return the maximum salary received in the employee table. We'll also find the minimum basic pay. Min of basic from employee, which is 31,000. So look at the headings, max of basic, min of basic. If you want to change the caption, you can use the alias name, that is as keyword, maximum salary. So look at the heading, it's changed as maximum salary. Max of basic as maximum salary, min of basic as minimum salary, right? So this is how you use the aggregate functions. What are the 5 aggregate functions? Sum, average, count, max, min. Only in count you have 2 different values to be used. You can say count of star or count of a particular field name. Next. Yeah, this is what I told. Select count of star from EMPL will count all the records retrieved. Select count of desig, that is designation from EMPL, will count the records in the designation column which are not null. Next, we have an option called group by. Group by clause combines the records that have similar values. What do you mean by similar values? Say when you talk about gender, there are a group of male employees, group of female employees. When you talk about department, there are a group of people in sales department, group in HR, there is a particular group who are in quality department. So you can group these values and find out certain records. I'll show you how it works. Let me pose to you a question. Find out the sum of salary that is given for each department. Suppose there are 3 kinds of departments. See how many departments are there. Select distinct DEPT from employee. How many departments? Quality, design and HR. Now I want to find how much salary I spend for each of these departments, department wise, right? So to do that, I have to group the values based on the department. How do you find out? Select the department, comma, sum of basic pay. Okay. Department. I want the department name followed by the sum of the money which I give as salary. That is sum of basic pay. Based on what condition? Group by department. So department wise, I'm going to order the records and find the sum. So when you press, see, quality department, it's 1,22,000. Design, it's 138. HR is 3,51,000. And there is also a null value, so that is also displayed. Right? So this is how you group records. Why do you group records? To find some detail based on the group of records. Say for example, you want to find how many people are there in every department. Count the number of employees in each department. So department, comma, count of star. From employee, group by department. See, quality 2 people, design 4, HR 6 people. and without department there is one person, right? So this is how you group records and find some data. Now, suppose you want to find the maximum salary that you give for each department, then you will say max of basic pay from employee for each department. Suppose you don't want to group by department, you want to group by gender. You want to find out how many people, how many male employees and female employees work. Then you have to say select gender comma, you want to count the number. So count of star to find the number of male and female employees, gender comma count of star from employee. And how are you going to group the records? Based on gender. So there are 8 male records and 5 female employees, right? Next we also have designation. So let us find what are the different designations that are available, or we can simply type group by desi and let's find out desi comma count of star. For each designation, how many employees are there? There are assistants, there are 3 managers, 5 in charges, 4. So this is how group by command works. Now, when you give the group by command, you cannot use a single field value. What do you mean by single field value? Designation is a group value, count of star is an aggregate function. If you give emp name, comma desi, it won't work properly. Why? When you group based on the designation, there are 3 assistants, but you are asking for one name. So what will happen? The first employee name will be shown here, which is actually incorrect. There are 3 assistants, but only the first employee name will get displayed here. So try to avoid or don't use a single value in a group by command. Okay, you should either use a group by column or an aggregate function. Only then it will work well. When you use a group by command, you should use only the grouped column along with this value. If you use single values like emp id, emp name, it will not work correctly.